just noted that I didn't begin the recording of this session. My apologies. I just hit the recording button, and I am very sorry. I didn't mean it. I wanted to record, but I forgot. I completely forgot. Anyways, Chalenji, let me. All right. Now, what screen can you see now? Stuart Hall screen. Can you see the screen related to Birmingham School now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, yes. Now, pay attention to this third bullet. I have highlighted it. Sorry, only the third bullet. It says that this bullet. The primary focus of the center was to reconceptualize popular culture as a site of resistance and negotiation for marginalized and disempowered people. Now, I'm talking about difference of Birmingham School and Frankfurt School. I said that Frankfurt School saw elites as manipulators of media content. They cynically saw that. However, this center, this Birmingham School, this is how it was different from from Frankfurt School. According to Birmingham School, they emphasized more on culture. They saw culture as a site of resistance. They saw that where resistance could be generated. If you remember, in Marxism, they said that working class is a class where revolution will come. This class will eventually bring revolution. A change will occur through working class. However, Birmingham School sees it differently. According to Birmingham School, the site of change is culture. Resistance generates in culture. And more importantly, they give importance to popular culture. And they say that popular culture is the site where weaker groups or oppressed groups, oppressed groups are those groups that are victimized. Oppressed groups, they can raise their voice, they can present their resistance. So Birmingham School emphasized culture, and it saw culture as a site of resistance. Now, the song that you just saw, Dhanak Dhanak by Begaret Brigade, you see how this cultural artifact is a song. That is a song, of course, that is a cultural artifact, and it is disseminated by media. How that song presents itself as a site of resistance against power, against the use of power. This is how this is what Birmingham School mainly argued, and this is how Birmingham School was different from Frankfurt School. So Frankfurt School essentially sees structure of the system. Structure means media house. Structure means the base, a factory, or a labor house. So uh, Frankfurt School sees structure as a site of change, as a site of resistance. However, Birmingham School sees culture as a site of change. So this is how Frankfurt School presents a structuralist viewpoint, and Birmingham School presents a culturalist viewpoint. Anyways, Frankfurt School is famous for its critical thoughts. They actually founded critical theory. They were very critical about things, if so to speak. I'll stop the sharing of my screen now. All right, this is what I wanted to explain. And if you want me to elaborate anything further, and I think this song, you must have noticed that they are criticizing the domination of military institution in the country, Begaret Brigade. And this song actually, I mean, we have many examples, of course. I already gave you the example of Habib Jalib's poetry in my last class. But Begaret Brigade's this recent song, I think this song came out in 2013. I think this is actually relevant to Hall's views. All right, questions please, and your comments about the song that you saw. questions? Yes, Usama, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have a question that, ma'am, you just said that the popular culture is the site of resistance. So in Pakistani context, how can it be a site of resistance? Like our culture is like Urdu, and all of the elites are part of this culture. So there has been never been any kind of resistance from the popular culture, and
I just,
mainly the resistance is from the regional cultures like Punjabi or like
yes,
Balochis or like the
yes.
Pashtuns.
Yeah, that's a very good question, but I have this sort of impression that maybe you didn't ask it in right words. Let me explain it to you, and then I'll ask you if this is the same thing you wanted to ask. First of all, this song, which was sung in Punjabi, I think it presents a very good example of resistance to answer your question. But maybe the another question that you are asking is that how it voices masses concern to policymakers. That maybe this is what you are asking. In Pakistan, unfortunately, we have this problem that Urdu, we have two main medias, two mainstream media, Urdu media and English media. And you would be surprised to know that English media is far smaller in terms of audience as compared to Urdu media. How much population reads English newspaper? The number is very little. How many people consume BBC or CNN? The number of people who see BBC and CNN is very little. Now, but look at the contrasting situation and look at the problem here. The problem is that although the viewership, the readership for English media is very little, whenever it comes to uh, policies, making policies, opinion makers, people who are in power, that they are the one who mostly consume English media. So this is what a contrasting situation we have in Pakistan. And another contrasting situation, many of you may be familiar with a very Pakistani famous journalist named Huma Yusuf. Huma Yusuf is a Woodrow Wilson scholar. She writes in Dawn, and once in one of her articles, one of her research projects, which was supported by BBC, she wrote that English media in Pakistan has not faced as many restrictions as Urdu media has. Even General Ziaul Haq's regime in Pakistan was the most harsh regime in terms of journalistic practices. Even Zia's government knew that Urdu English media in Pakistan was not powerful enough to put the streets to public. For this reason, they were specially more strict for Urdu media as compared to English media. And even today, English media sometimes writes openly on issues related to criticizing establishment, military establishment, on issues related to blasphemy. We don't see those issues openly discussed in Urdu media. Now, when the Urdu media, which is the media of masses, when that media is not actively engaged in gearing up public debates, public discussions, what kind of change we can expect? So in Pakistan, English language plays a role in linguistic apartheid, in maintaining classism, and in maintaining status quo as well. This is what I can say to respond to your question, Osama. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, earlier we learned that the culture or the popular culture is part of the superstructure, like it's dominated by the elite.
Yes,
So my question
that's
is still the
Frankfurt
same. Like
view.
how can?
That is Frankfurt's view.
Yes.
That is Frankfurt's view. That superstructure is controlled by base. Okay? That is Frankfurt's
Yes.
view. However, Birmingham School's view is different. They say they say even if it is controlled, resistance still comes. It comes, and there are still possibilities that it makes its way. Maybe the time has not yet come from Pakistan, but still resistance is being generated. Does it make sense?
Yes, ma'am. It
uh,
does.
Adil and Fatima, can you quickly go over your questions? I have 5 minutes. Adil, you go first. Fatima, you can go first, and then Adil. Sorry, Adil. I hope Fatima will wrap up her question and quickly, and then we'll go to Adil. Yes, Fatima.
Ma'am, you were just talking about English and Urdu newspapers and how the English is more, the English newspapers offer more resistance. But when we consider, for example, the case of Lal Masjid,
Yeah.
I've mostly seen in the when the incident was actually happening, and during that time, English ladies were actually promoting war journalism. According to me,
Yeah.
like I did a case study about upon that, and I actually studied all the news articles that were published on Dawn and the news, and they
Yeah.
were actually promoting war journalism compared to the Urdu newspapers that were more neutral and were
Yeah.
actually presenting both views in a very neutral way.
Very
So
good job. I'm glad, Fatma, you brought this up. Fatma raised a very good point, and I will go back to Usama's question. Usama, this is not to say that Urdu media or indigenous media, Punjabi media does not present resistance. I would say in lawyers movement, when Chief Justice of Pakistan was restored, Urdu media was very active, and they showed a very good resistance, very solid resistance. You see, that is another very good example of culturalist view that Birmingham School proposes. Okay, Adil, your question better. I have 3 minutes, 4 minutes left. Adil, go ahead. Fatma, do you want to say anything else?
Yes,
no, ma'am, sorry.
yes, ma'am. I want to say, yeah,
Adil, can you hear us?
ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, yes. Ma'am, my point is, you are talking about that international media, especially BBC, is speaking against establishment. Recently, Pakistani National Assembly passed a bill to criminalize the criticism against establishment.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Media is on another way,
That is not a
but
media act. That is a government act. How can we
I
discuss
think,
that in the
yeah,
context of this theory?
my
So
point is that media is, on other hand, media are unable to speak against establishment, but no parliamentarians are prohibited to speak against establishment. So I think so in Pakistani society, it is in the context, if we're talking, it's very difficult to criticize the establishment.
okay, and again, this is a very good question. Let me tell you, when I began, Adil, I don't know if you joined late, this class late, but when this class began, I told you in the beginning that the theories that we are discussing here, they were generated in Western context. ठीक है? They were generated in Western culture. Our culture is different. Maybe theories that are applicable in that environment, they are not applicable, or they are little less applicable because of our cultural context. So I think you can find your answer here. Yes, whatever Stuart Hall is saying or Birmingham School is saying, it cannot be applied to our culture because we have a different culture where we don't have we cannot criticize an institution, or maybe we can, but we cannot be as open in terms of criticism as people in Western culture are. So that this is what I said in the beginning of this class, that we need to be mindful of the fact that theories we are discussing here, they were generated in Pakistani context, and it is us scholars of mass communication who actually challenge the applicability of those theories in our cultural context. And maybe with that we can propose any theory that works with our own. So by the way, I mean, the history of Western civilization is not very old. It's, I mean, just look at their history 200, 300 years back, and look at the history of American, what happened in America, especially with Native Americans, and what happened in Europe. I was giving you the example of a prison notebook, what happened to scholars there. Antonio Gramsci, he was criticizing Mussolini, and for that he was imprisoned, and he remained imprisoned for the rest of his life. So they also went through the same evolutionary processes. So Pakistan is not alone in this. This happens in Zimbabwe, this happens in Saudi Arabia and many other countries. If we face restrictions, Pakistan is not alone. But again, you raised a very good point, and I was saying, maybe in a way, I have less than a minute left. If the
मैम
call,
हर कंट्री की फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच की डेफिनेशन ही अलग है, इसलिए अब वो अपने आप को ऐसा पोर्ट्रे करते हैं कि वो मासूम है और पाकिस्तान में ही सारा जुल्म हो रहा है.
हाँ, हालांकि मासूम इतने वो दूध के वो भी नहीं धुले हुए. शाबाश. ताहा, बेटे, call may drop any minute. अगर if you have any question, write me an email with your number in it, phone number, and I'll call you myself. ताहा, go ahead.
मैम जी, मैंने लेक्चर रिलेटेड नहीं कुछ पूछना था. मैंने